yourself into your comfortable seated position. Like I said, I'm on my block. If you prefer to sit on the mat, feel free to sit down on the mat. If you prefer to kneel, if it's more comfortable for you, especially if your knees tend to kind of hang in space. If you have extra blocks, you can always slide the blocks underneath your thighs as well. We want our lower body relaxed when we're coming into our easy seated pose is what it's called, which isn't always so easy. Right here, we are going to bring our shoulders up, back, and down, and let your elbows come under your shoulders. We do that to help us sit up nice and tall. Hands are on your lap. They can be down or up. Now that's a personal preference, and each day might be different. As you settle in, you want to start connecting with your breath. Feel your inhale come in through your nose. Feel your exhale release out of your nose. Both your inhale and your exhale is through your nose. As you focus on your breath, feel your steady inhale. Feel your steady exhale. So as you focus on your inhale and your exhale, you want to continue being relaxed in your face and your shoulders. And also check to see that your chin is level to the ground. We sometimes like to let our chin dip down. So bring your chin up level, and that brings the top of your head towards the ceiling. As you feel your inhale, feel the breath come into the side of your rib cage as well as the back of your rib cage. When you exhale, feel your breath release all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Take one more breath here. At the end of your breath, meet with your hands at heart center. Eyes can open. We take an inhale, reach your arms up. Now bring your hands back to heart center here. Release them down. With your inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands, heart center. One more time. Take a nice inhale, reach up. Hands, heart center. This time, reach up. Keep your hands lifted high. Clasp your left wrist, right hand. Reach up and over. And can you lengthen your arms a little bit longer? Return to center. Clasp the other wrist. Side stretch up over. Check your shoulders. They're stacked. It's inhale, reach center. Side stretch, exhale, lengthen through your top arm. Reach up, inhale, side stretch, exhale. Reach up center, here twist to the right. Keep sitting up tall, gentle twist. Arms reach up as you inhale, gentle twist left. One more time, each side, reach up, add your twist. Here's your reach and your twist. We're reaching our arms all the way up to center one more time. Bring your arms down. They can rest next to your hips. Sit up really tall. Bring your chin to your chest, little neck back stretch. Lift your head all the way up. We take chin to chest. Lift your head up. Take your right shoulder, little neck stretch here. Head is up. left ear, left shoulder. Lift your head, look to the right. Now you look to the left. Bring yourself to center. And we take ourselves right down into all fours as we practice our cow cat. Your block can come off to the side. Right here, nice stable base. Inhale as you lift your collarbone, your chest. Exhale, pull your belly in, feel your tailbone release, top of the head down. Now, as you make this movement, your shoulders are staying stable and you're letting the movement happen down between your shoulder blades with your spine. Lift is an inhale. Round release is your exhale. Take one more here. At the end of this one, we're meeting back in our neutral. Bring yourself to neutral. You're going to bring your right knee to the front. It's a low lunge. We want to use this low lunge to get a nice stretch for the front of your hip, the thigh. So knee is over ankle right here. If you're not feeling a good stretch, squeeze the back glute a little bit more. Fingertips can reach up right here. Feel your length as you lift. And now we bring our arms down. We switch to the other side. Let the opposite leg come to the front. Knee is over the ankle. Once you have that, if you're not feeling a nice stretch in the front of the thigh, front of the hip, engage your back glutes a little bit more. You're going to feel it come into your hip flexor and your fingertips reach up. And just check to see top of the head stays up towards the ceiling. There's your lift opening for your hips right here. We bring ourselves back into all fours and take a child's pose. Let your hips slide back. Fingertips can reach out to the front. Now we're going to use this time in our child's pose to stretch our wrists. You can start by taking your fingertips on the mat and lift your wrist away from the mat. From there, you're going to add a little stretch of your wrist. Fingertips can go towards the ceiling, add a little stretch. And then you gently take it over to the other side as you add a stretch for the other wrist. We're going to add little wrist circles in one direction. Now you can take your wrist circles in the opposite direction. If there's any extra stretching you want to do for your wrist, feel free to add a couple more stretches. And then return, bring yourself back to all fours as we get ready to do our balancing. Take your left foot behind. Now level out your hips. You want to check in, pull your core in, and then lift the leg. Hold the leg at hip height. Opposite hand comes up. You're going to hold it right here. Try to stay nice and level and just check to see if you still kept your core coming in as you press your heel away from you. We release this side and now you take it to the other side. Foot goes back, make sure you level your hips, engage through your core. Leg comes up, doesn't need to go any higher than hip level. Hold it at hip level. Let the opposite hand come up to the front. And then check to see what your head is doing. So if you dropped your head or you're looking up, can you bring it in line with the rest of your spine? We release your arm and leg here. Take a nice cow cat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round release. And here comes your downward dog. Slide your hands a little bit further forward. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. It is your downward dog. Now with our first downward dog, let's bend our knees, let our hips press back, get really long through your spine. Feel your inhale, feel your exhale. Now straighten your legs, lift your heels, hips go up high, and we press our hips towards the back wall and let your heels come down towards the floor. Now if that's causing a lot of strain in your low back, your hamstrings, Just bend your knees a little bit. Now your head can stay right between your biceps. And from here, we are going to step and walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. It's your forward fold. And now really ground into your feet, engage your core, strong hips as you bring yourself all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. Here comes an inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Knees can be soft on the way down. Halfway lift. Let your fingertips come to your mat. Step your left leg back. It's a low lunge, and we're going to take it into a twist. So if hopefully your block is somewhere nearby, and you don't have to use the block. I like to use it underneath my hand, but you might choose to take your hand all the way to the mat. From here, you're going to keep the back leg active. Add a twist. And today, take the hand, bring it behind your head, and see if you can bring your elbow up towards the ceiling. And what we want to feel is the back of our head pressing into our hand. Release yourself back to the center. We're taking a step to the top of the mat. It can be your press from the back foot. Meeting your halfway lift. Forward fold. Strong core, strong legs. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands, heart center. We get ready to take it to the other side. Reach up is an inhale. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. Now we step. The right foot back, left stays to the front. Block or no block as you set yourself up for your twist. So back leg is nice and active. When you're ready, you can bring the hand up. Maybe you stay here. This is perfect. If you can bring your hand behind your head and then think about pressing your head into your hand. We're doing this so that we keep a long neck right here. Take a few breaths. Nice, steady inhale. Steady exhale. Release the hand down. And it is your big step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. Here comes your inhale. Reach up. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway lift. Bring your hands to your mat. It is your plank pose. Step back into your plank. We're going to stay strong through our center. You can always use your knees. Please feel free to use your knees if that feels best. And we're going to lower all the way to the mat. You choose which method you want to take it down. First time, goal post arms as we lift and lower. Arms are making a L shape, and then you lift. Inhale, lower, exhale. Now we're doing two more like this. Tops of the feet are grounded. You're taking your lift and your lower. Take one more here. Now make it feel good. So you want to pull in the core, stay along through the top of your head. Here comes your Cobra Pose. Hands are by your rib cage. It's a lift and a lower. Now you go as high as feels really good for you for your Cobra Pose. It could be high, it could be low. We have one more Cobra, and we all meet in our downward dog. In your downward dog, connect with your breath. Feel your full inhale. Feel your full exhale. From here, we step, walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We're keeping our right foot to the front. We're lifting our left knee. Bring your knee up. And from here, it is your high lunge. Reach your leg back. Fingertips reach up. From your high lunge, we come back to our knee lift. Bring yourself up, lift your knee. Here's your high lunge as you step back. 2 more times, we take our knee, we lift, bring it up. Here's your high lunge. We have 1 more time, and you hold your high lunge. So from here is your high lunge. Hold your high lunge. Fingertips can reach up. Hands can come behind your head. Stay strong right here. And now add a little hinge forward. We're taking our hinge. You're going to reach through your fingertips. Stay really strong. Let your fingertips sweep back as you get a little longer through the top of your head. Take 1 more breath. When you inhale, reach fingertips up high. And we open up to our warrior 2. So adjust the back foot. Open up your warrior 2. Fingertips are reaching side to side. Stay connected with your breath. Feel the mat underneath your feet. Now reverse your warrior. Flip your front hand. Reach back. Lengthen. Extended side angle. Bring your forearm to your thigh. Now you can always choose to keep the bottom arm straight if that feels better. Warrior 2, as you bring yourself up, settle into your pose. Tall right here. Connect with your breath. And now straighten your front leg. Let your toes point straight ahead. Take a nice forward fold. Hands can come to your hips as you bring yourself down. If you like to use a block, feel free to grab a block and use a block. Otherwise, you can take it all the way down to the floor if that feels good. We bring ourselves halfway up. Hands are coming towards your hips, and we're gonna take a little sliding side to side. You're gonna slide to the right and slide to the left. So it's a little slide side to side. Now, as you slide, I want you to focus on keeping your hips back. That protects your knees, and we're long through the top of your head. So you want to keep your head in line with the rest of your body as you slide side to side. One more time, each side. And then we take our big step back to the top of our mat, and we meet with our hands, heart center. We're taking this to the other side. We're lifting the knee. From there, it is your high lunge. Foot goes back, fingertips reach up. Knee lift comes up. Big push, strong legs, bring yourself up. High lunge as you step the leg back. Here comes knee lift up. High lunge. We take this 1 more time. Lift. Now this time you hold your high lunge, step back, solid base. Fingertips are up. Once you have that, hands are coming behind your head. You're up nice and tall right here. From here, we're taking our hinge forward. You're letting your fingertips reach to the front, a really strong front leg. Check in with your core. If you're collapsing into your front thigh, see if you can engage through your muscles just a little bit more right here. High lunge as you bring yourself up. And now we open warrior 2. Open the back foot. Adjust your feet if you need to, fingertips open, and just take a little peek. Make sure your front knee is aligned over your toes. Connect with your breath. Nice steady inhale. Steady exhale. We flip the front hand, reach back. There's your reverse warrior. Is your front leg still strong? Did you keep it engaged as you reached back? Extended side angle. Bring your forearm to your thigh. Back arm is going to reach, lengthen. You're getting really long right here. Check in with your breath. Warrior two, as you bring yourself up, settle into the pose. Let your shoulders relax. Now we straighten the front leg. Is coming back into our side-to-side lunges. Can you take it to one side? You take it to the other side. So we're pressing our hips back. Now if you're feeling strong today and you would like to add on more, you would take your fingertips out to the side, engage a little bit more in your core, and you would slide side to side. From here, we bring our hands back to your hips. We'll meet in the center. Give yourself a nice forward fold. Now hands can come down to a mat or a block in front. Nice long spine here. If this feels great, stay here. Your other option is to let the top of your head come down towards the mat. It's more important to use good form than to force yourself to go someplace that your body doesn't like. With your inhale, you bring yourself up. Hands can come to your waist. With your next inhale, bring yourself all the way up. It is a big step to the top of your mat. Hands, heart center. Here's your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. We bring our hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Hold your plank pose here. Can you engage your core a little more? Stay strong through your legs. From here, we lower to the mat, knees or toes, your choice. We start with our cactus goalpost arms as you lift with an inhale, lower with an exhale. Lift, inhale, lower, exhale. From here, we take our Cobra Pose. Hands can come by your rib cage, elbows back. Little cobra, big cobra, whatever feels good for you. Just make sure you're keeping your shoulders back and down. And this should feel good for your body, so please make sure you're listening to your body. We are going to press ourselves back into our downward dog after your third cobra and connect with your breath. At any time, if you choose to take a child's pose, that's perfectly fine. Connect with your breath. And from here, we're bringing our knees to the floor and we're practicing a dolphin pose. Dolphin pose, you come down to your elbows. Now to check the width, you can always reach towards each elbow. That gives you an idea how far it is. You might like to keep your hands out in front. You might choose to take your forearms down on the mat. Now from here, you would tuck your toes, lift your hips, and there is your dolphin pose. Now what we want to do is make sure we are lifting up through our shoulders so the top of your head is away from the mat. You're going to hold your dolphin here. Lift your right leg, so it's a three-legged dolphin. Bend the knee and just add a little press to the ceiling. One more time, you can bring the left leg down and then you switch. You lift the opposite leg up, three-legged dolphin, bend the knee, and you push the foot into the ceiling. Remember to breathe. I know there's a lot of shoulder work happening here. Release your foot down. Hold your dolphin, one more breath. And then gently, knees come down and give yourself a child's pose. Fingertips can reach out to the front. They can come out to the side. What feels good is where you want to take the pose and give yourself a nice little stretch, a little break right here. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back into your downward dog. Hands are grounding down into the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Check in with your breath. You are breathing diaphragm, ribs, chest. Take that full exhale. From here, you would step walk to the top of your mat. It is your halfway lift. Forward fold. Now reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We're taking a chair pose here. Let your hips slide back as you come into your chair pose. Now from your chair pose, keep grounding into the right foot. We come up, left knee comes up with you. So you can lift up. Hands can stay at heart center. Try to stay nice and level. And then take your chair pose. Feet come down. Sit back. Here it comes. Press into the right. Left knee comes up. We're doing this one more time. Here comes your chair pose. Bring it down. We're bringing ourselves up. Take your knee with you. Try to get a really stable base right here. Once you're there, take your hand across. Add a twist towards your knee. We release it back to the front. Both your feet come down. We have to take it to the other side. Chair pose. Slide down. Here's the press. Knee comes up. Chair pose. Foot comes down. Press into the left. Right knee comes up. We have one more. This time, we are going to keep the knee lifted. Lift up. Hold it here. Hand comes across. Add your twist. Release yourself to the front. One more time, chair pose. Hands can reach up. You can keep them at heart center, whatever feels best for you. Stay really strong as you sit back into your hips. Take a nice big inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And now reach all the way up to standing. Hands. Heart center. We're taking a warrior one pose. Keep the right foot to the front. Take the left foot back. Reach your fingertips up. Give yourself your warrior one pose. Cactus arms here. Open up your arms. You can always lift your chest a little bit more. Now remember, it's a lift of your chest. You still want to be safe and secure in your low back. From here, we take our hands behind. You can lift your chest up a little higher. Humble warrior as you come forward inside your front leg. Warrior one, as you inhale your hands up. Bring your hands to heart center. Step to the top of your mat. We take it to the other side. Warrior one. Left foot is to the front, right foot steps back. Come into your warrior one pose. Now you're really focused on bringing rib cage, chest to the front. If you can bring your hips a little bit more forward and level, bring it there. Cactus arms, are you open? Take an inhale, clasp your hands behind, lift your chest. Humble warrior as you come forward. With your inhale, warrior one. Fingertips to reach up. Big step to the top of your mat, hands, heart center. Take a half vinyasa, reach up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now reach all the way up to standing. Hands heart center, and we set ourselves up to practice our tree pose. You choose which foot you would like to start with. Once you choose the foot, it can be kickstand. Make sure you're up nice and tall. Maybe you choose to take it to your lower leg, or you can bring it all the way to your inner thigh. Once you have your legs, hands can be at heart center. Arms can open up. And as you practice your tree pose, can you open your knee a little bit more to the outside? Release your arms. Release your legs. Give yourself a little shake. We have the other side to go. So try to find a really solid, stable base. Once you have that, kickstand, that's a great option. You might choose to take that, open your knee to the outside. You might practice with the foot on the lower leg. You might choose to bring your foot all the way to your inner thigh. So wherever you want to take it, take your tree pose. Arms can open, they can reach. We want to stay tall and think about opening your knee all the way out to the side. We gently release our hands down. You can let your legs go. We are going to meet at the top of your mat and bring ourselves into our full vinyasa right here. Take your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. Bring your hands to your mat. Here comes your plank pose. Toes or knees. We are going to lower to the mat. We'll start with our cactus arms for our lift and lower. Try to move, keep your head moving with you when your gaze still stays down to the floor. After your third one here, you can take 3 cobras and take your time. If you guys spend a little more time in your cobra, feel free to take your time in your cobra. At the end of your third cobra, we all meet in our downward dog. Connect with your breath. Take one more breath here, and then bring your knees to your mat as we meet in all fours, and we get ready to do our crunches here. Just make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Take one foot back, engage through your core, find your stable position first. When you're ready, opposite arm comes out, and then you add your crunch. It's elbow, knee, take a pause, squeeze in, extend out long. Here comes your crunch, pause, extend out long. Here comes the crunch, pause, extend. 2 more, make them good, engage through the core. At the end of your next one, you are going to hold your pose. Hold it out long right here. Feel the length a little bit further. Push your heel away. Is your core still engaged? And then release your arm and leg. Take a cow cat, quick child's pose, whichever feels best for you. And we get ready to take it to the other side. So we would take the opposite leg back. Just make sure hips are level. You're engaged through your core before you start. Fingertips reach out. Add your crunch. It is elbow to knee. You pause. You hold it in. You extend out long. Here comes the crunch, the pause, extend long. Bring in your crunch and your extension. We have two more right here. Crunch in, pause, extend. Last time, take the pause when you get in your crunch. Strong core. Extend out, pause, hold it, hold it. Release your arm and leg. Cow cat, child's pose, whatever feels best for you. Give yourself a nice stretch. If your wrists need a stretch, go ahead, add some circles. It could be reaching out that feels best. It could be bringing your arms by your side. Whatever feels best for you. Give yourself a nice big inhale, breathing into your back rib cage, and then you exhale and release all the breath out. Now we are going to bring ourselves over onto our back side as we get ready to practice our bridge pose. From here, you're going to bring yourself down. Now, if you want to use a block, you can use a block underneath your hips. You can use the block between your thighs. It's a great way to keep your legs in alignment. Arms are by your side. Toes straight ahead. And when you're ready, you press into your feet. You lift your hips. If you want to walk your shoulders under, feel free to take the walk of your shoulders. When you do that, did you keep your legs engaged or did you let them relax? You can also press your triceps down, fingertips. And then check to see that your throat is open towards the ceiling. So we want to make sure our cervical spine is safe. Now, if you chose to slide the block underneath your hips, you can keep the block under your hips. Otherwise, you can let your hips go down. We are going to be going up one more time in our bridge. Once your hips are down, you take a little break. When you're ready, press into your feet. Lift your hips. Now, if you're not using a block, I do want you to double check. Make sure your knees are going straight ahead. Hopefully your toes are pointing straight ahead. I can't see mine, so I'm hoping they're straight ahead. And then you're pressing into your feet. You can open your chest. And we're also checking in. Back of the head is on the mat, so your chin is lifted a little bit as you take this stretch right here. Now it is from here. You can let your hips come back down to the floor. If you have a block, you can set the block to the side. We're going to take our knees together. Feet are going to open up. We're giving ourselves a little bit of a release right here. Windshield wiper legs. Now I'm doing one more movement before we come into more stretching. We're going to bring our knees back up towards the ceiling. So we're coming back into feet on the floor. We're taking a figure four right here. So take your ankle over your thigh, open your knee to the other side. Now I'm going to add a little bit of work for our glutes and hamstrings here. So we did our bridge pose. Now you're going to press into the foot on the floor. You're going to lift the leg and then gently bring the hip down. And it doesn't need to touch the mat. You can keep it as a little hover. So you would lift and lower. And you're focused on pressing into the heel so that you're working more of your hamstring and your glutes here. You take the lift and the lower. Take one more right here. And then we're gently going to let your hips come down. And right here, a little bit of a stretch. Bottom of the foot can go towards the floor on one side. So you're giving yourself a little bit of a stretch right here. We'll bring ourselves back to center and then switch over to the other side. Take the foot to the floor. Opposite ankle is coming up and over the thigh. Once you're set up right there, you're going to start pressing into your heel as you lift your hip and bring it down. And right here, it's a little bit of a hover. So I barely touch the mat as I lift, and it's a soft tap. So you lift and you tap. So we're working our hamstrings and our glutes a little bit more right here. You have a few more. We take one more, and then you can let your hips relax down. Here comes a little bit of a twist, so you're gonna let the bottom of the foot come to the floor. Bring your legs back to center, and we'll go into our windshield wiper legs one more time so you feel the nice release for your back. Only go where it feels good for your body, so it will be different for all of us. And then from here, we would bring both of our knees into our chest as we give ourselves a big hug. And use this to let your low back relax. So I added a couple little side to side. That might feel good. Otherwise, think about tailbone relaxing down into the mat. So if you have a tendency to let your hips come up off the mat, see if you can let your hips relax down in the mat. Now my strap happens to be right next to me, and I'm going to use this strap when we go into our hamstring stretch. We'll start with our hip stretch as you extend one leg all the way out. Now the extended leg, just check, toes are up towards the ceiling. You can even press your calf a little bit more down into the mat. That activates the stretch a little bit more on the straight leg side. It is from here we add this stretch for our hamstring. The strap, if you have it, will go around the bottom of your foot. And then you find that perfect spot where you get your hamstring stretch. And this is also different for everybody. You might get a really great stretch with your leg a little further away from you. And that will also let you relax the leg, that hip down into your mat so you're not straining. And then use your strap to level the bottom of your foot towards the ceiling. From here, we are opening our leg to the outside. So you can take both straps in your outside hand and then open the leg. Now you're really going to have to activate the straight leg on the mat to keep your hip down to give you the best stretch through your inner thigh right here. Now you would only let this inner thigh go so low. If your opposite hip is popping up off the mat, bring yourself up so you can really plant the hip and get the stretch for your inner. We start bringing the leg up to the center, switch the hand holding the strap. The leg goes across your midline. There is your outer hip, outer thigh stretch. And you might need to make little adjustments on where your leg is, and it'll change where you're feeling the stretch in your hip and your thigh. Now bring the legs back to the center. We're taking both of our knees into our chest or your armpits, whichever feels best. Hips are relaxing down. We have the other side to go, so you can straighten out the opposite leg. Now you want to press the heel or the calf down into the floor. Give yourself a big stretch through the front, and your toes can be up towards the ceiling. It is from here we take the strap around the bottom of your foot. Now, if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can always just make sure the bottom of your foot is level towards the ceiling. And this is where you just play around and find your perfect hamstring stretch. And each side might be different. You might find one leg is in one spot and the other side is on the other, is in a different spot. It is from here, we clasp the strap in one hand. Open the leg to the outside. Pay attention, bottom hip, keep it grounded as you open and get a big stretch for the inner thigh right here. We bring the leg back up towards the ceiling. We're switching the hand holding the strap, and now we take the leg across your midline. We start bringing the leg back up to the center. Your strap can go off to the side. Bring your knees into your chest right here. Give yourself a nice little hug. Let both your knees come down, both of your feet come down to the floor, arms open up. We're taking a spinal twist. Knees can go off to one side. Now I'm going to use a block instead of between my thighs, my knees, because it feels better for me that way. But feel free to take whatever option that feels good for you as you take your hips off to the side. Now you can also focus on stretching through your shoulder, your chest, and that would be working on keeping your shoulder down. Now, sometimes our arms don't stay down, and rather than using the block between your legs, you might choose to take the block underneath your arm, and that gives you a nice little extra support and stretch right there. We are going to take it off to the other side, so bring yourself back to center. And again, you choose. You can always take the block behind, underneath the arm that's out to the side, or you can use the block between your thighs, your knees, whatever feels good. So we're just trying to get the best stretch that feels good. So this is relaxed. It's more of a restorative type stretch. So there's no tension. We just want to let ourselves relax into the pose. From here, we are going to bring our legs back up to the center. We're going to take our knees towards our armpits so the bottoms of the feet can go up towards the ceiling. So it's your happy baby right here. And now, if you can reach the bottoms of your feet, feel free to reach for the bottoms of your feet. Sometimes it's more comfortable by your legs. Little side to side rocking. If that feels great, you're going to take it there. Let's straighten our legs real quick. Give yourself a big stretch. Toes can go up towards the ceiling. We're going to pull our toes down so you get a little different stretch right here. Might come into your calves. Now we stretch our toes towards the ceiling. Pull your toes towards your forehead. Here comes point your toes towards the ceiling. Keep them pointed. Spread your toes apart. Big stretch through your toes. Can you get your pinky toe, and then maybe you try to do things like move your big toe away or towards you. Relax your toes, add ankle circles in one direction. And now take ankle circles in the opposite direction. We return to our happy baby. Knees are towards your armpits. Whatever feels best here. Now this is your last stretch before Shavasana. So if you want to add any extra stretches, moves that feel good for you, feel free to do that. We are getting ready to lay all the way down. Now if you prefer to keep your legs up towards the ceiling, feel free to do that. If when you extend your feet out to the corners of your mat in Shavasana and it bothers your low back, feel free to bend your knees. You might have to wiggle yourself around, let yourself get into a comfortable position into your mat. You can let your feet be about the width of your mat. Feet will fall open wherever that is for you. Arms come by your side, preferably palms up. That lets your shoulder blades come down into the mat, but if that bothers your shoulders, then you make the adjustment that feels best for you. We want to check that the back of our head is down on the mat. That means our chin is level. So you want to make sure you're open through your throat and your chin is level. You can take a big breath, exhale, blow it all out. One more time, big inhale. Exhale, blow it all out. Let yourself relax, sink down into your mat. As you let your breath go at your own pace, your own rhythm. You can gently add some movement in your fingers and your toes. Take a big breath, long stretch as you reach your arms overhead and give yourself a long, long stretch. From there, you bring your knees into your chest. Gently take it over to one side as you reconnect with your breath. Take a breath or two on your side. And from there, you would bring yourself up into your comfortable seated position, meeting with your hands, heart center. From here, we take a big inhale. Reach your arms up. Hands return to heart center. Namaste.